Hello, Pisces. I'm Jen with Timeline Tarot. I sure do hope that you're doing well today. Let's take a look at your tarot card for the week of October 26, 2025. I've set the intention of this reading to be for Sun, Moon, Rising, as well as Venus placements. So if you have Pisces in any of those placements, odds are there is a little message in this reading for you. Also, keep in mind that this is a collective general reading. It is not individualized nor personalized to you. Messages may come through today that do not fully resonate. And if that happens, don't get upset. Just means that one message is meant for someone else watching. So take what fits, how it fits, leave what doesn't. And of course, remember to check out your other placements. With all of that said, let's begin. Tapping into the Piscean collective now for Pisces Sun, Moon, Rising, as well as Venus placements. What is the tarot card of the week for the week of October 26, 2025? What does Pisces need to know? What do they need to consider this week? Let's get one more shuffle here. Thank you. Your tarot card of the week, the Devil. What boundaries need to be created in your life when it comes to a toxic situation, environment, or connection? At the bottom of the deck, you have the Lovers. What are you prepared to learn from this love connection? It doesn't have to be a love connection, okay? It could be any connection here in your life. This is not what you don't see coming. I've already issued the what you don't see coming readings for all 12 signs, and of course the placements of Sun, Moon, Rising, as well as Venus. So take a look at that. They were released yesterday. The tarot card of the week reading that I do is guidance for you, for us, from Source, Divine God, Jesus, Muhammad, whatever you call that other entity. And it's intended to pose a question to us that we need to consider and do some introspection on and wonder about and really give considerable thought to. And so that we can come to our own conclusion or our own decision. And then we can move our life forward. And it's essentially meant to get us out of situations, environments, or connections that maybe we're stuck or stagnant, or some aspect of our life that we're stuck or stagnant in. So just take this as an advice spread here, okay, for the week ahead. So your tarot card for the week is the Devil. And this is what Source wants you to consider this week. What boundaries do you need to create in your life when it comes to toxic situations, environments, or connections? And that's further clarified with that Lover's card, which could be any union in your life, professional, platonic, romantic, could be all of them across the board. Tell me more about this here for Pisces. One more shuffle here. Thank you. The first card out, oh my God, the Devil. Okay. The Seven of Cups, the Hanged Man, and the Strength card. Bottom of the deck, Justice, the Ten of Pentacles, and the Star. Obviously, we will clarify, but I've tapped into a group of you. Don't get offended. Some of these readings have been super hard, okay? And remember, it's just advice to try moving us forward. Some of you put a lot of faith and a lot of stock in an individual in your life. And if it's not someone who's existing in your life, you're just very easy to go all in. You're very easy to trust, which is interesting because you are the most intuitive sign in tarot. And I know the other 11 signs don't like, hearing me say that, but it's true. I've always felt that being the last zodiac sign out of the 12 means that you have, along the way, picked up a little bit from each of them. And when used properly and in a high vibrational state, you could rule the world, so to speak. So I've tapped into a group of you where I don't think you're trusting your intuition when it comes to people in your life. I think you think everyone is like you and everyone is not like you, and you have a hard time understanding that or accepting that. And so I feel like you go all in. You meet someone and they need help and you're right there. You'll drive 3 hours and give them the shirt off your back, but you don't really know these people. So for some of you, it's someone very specific in your life. And for others of you, it's just the archetype of the type of people, you're continually drawn to. And I feel it's because you don't have healthy boundaries, or at least that's what the message here is implying. You either fantasize or daydream that this person or these people are better than what they actually are, or you're judging them based on the potential you see in them and not who they truly are. And that can be a dangerous thing because everyone has potential, but not everyone reaches their maximum potential, right? Jeffrey Dahmer had the potential to be a stand-up, good-looking guy. not chopping people up and putting them in his freezer. So there's some, and I'm not saying that you're dealing with a Jeffrey Dahmer type of person, but what I'm saying is everyone has the potential. We are all born with potential, regardless of our handicaps or any issues or anything like that. We all have the potential. And I feel like you judge people based on their potential, like based on what you see in them or based on what you see for them. But I feel like time and time again, you become disappointed and yet you don't learn. And I think that's the message here. There's something here, either with a specific person in your life or just people in general, where you make the call that they're a good person or they're a stand-up person. I knew someone once who was in a terrible marriage, and I had a discussion with her, and she said, he's just mind you, this man was having multiple affairs on her. And she said, he's a great husband. She said, he provides for us, and he's not an alcoholic, and he doesn't beat me. And I was like, wow. Any decent person would not be an alcoholic and would have a job or be productive in some sense in their life and, wouldn't beat the hell out of you. That doesn't make him a great husband. So there's something like that where like you would rather look at like the positive attributes of someone, or again, judge them based on their potential. But because you do that right off the bat and you continue to do that in the connection, sometimes it takes you a long time to realize, holy shit, I've been playing with the devil and not with this stand-up person. So I don't know who this is to you currently in your life. Could be an Aquarius, a Capricorn, a Libra, a Leo, regardless of their zodiac sign. I feel like you've misjudged this person, but it's not the first time in your life that you've misjudged this type of person. Tell me about the Devil card. This person also, or this type of person, has a way to easily convince you that they are meeting or exceeding the potential you see in them, but it's all an illusion. And so I think for some of you, when you enter these connections, professional, platonic, or romantic, it's like down the road after they screw you over so many times, then you're like, oh my God, I didn't see it coming. I thought he or she or whatever, however they identify, was a stand-up person. I thought they would be a great partner for me. But they weren't a great partner or friend or colleague or boss from the beginning. They were just really good at getting you to second guess your intuition. So I think for your protection here with this person and with everyone in your life, what Source is trying to tell you, you need to create some healthy boundaries, kind of like vet a person first and continually in the connection. Tell me about that devil energy. One more shuffle here. Thank you. The devil is clarified by the world card. This is a lesson you've already learned over and over again. You have either done this over and over again with this person or with this type of person. The Nine of Cups and the Five of Swords. And you keep going back. You either keep going back to this person or you keep attracting this type of person. For some of you, if this person is currently in your life, you just don't want to believe that they're toxic. You don't want to believe that they can't be the potential that you see in them, or that the potential that they once showed you, but the potential they once showed you was illusion. Neptune and Pisces in your sign. And so there's something here, like if this person is currently in your life, I think it's taking you a long time to see them as being toxic. And some of you still are not recognizing that this person is toxic. You might think it's a phase they're going through, or because they're having difficulty at work, that's why they're showing up this way. No. This person has not done the work that you have done or I have done or most people have done. This person, or the archetype of this person, will constantly be deceptive. And that's their problem. And that's not for you to fix, but it is for you to recognize. And so for those of you where you have this individual currently in your life, there is a need for you to really see this person for who and what they truly are. And if this person isn't in your life, there's something here that you need to learn that you should have learned a long time ago when it comes to welcoming people into your life. And that is not automatically assuming that they're a good person or that they have good intentions for you just because of their pedigree or their job or how they look or how they're able to charm you in the beginning of the connection. I don't feel like this person changes per se, like this type of person, I feel like that's who they've always been. The masquerade is showing up as the good person. I don't feel like they turn into a bad person down the line. I feel like they were a bad person from the beginning. They were just able to like kind of pull the wool over your eyes. And I think that's why you need to be a little bit more discerning here in your connections. And the best way for you to do that, to be able to vet someone properly and to be more discerning, is to have some healthy boundaries. Perspective. And I think that's the perspective you need. Instead of saying that person was toxic, my ex was toxic, my parents are toxic, I think instead you need to look at it from a different angle. And the different angle is that person was always toxic. They didn't become toxic. They just conned me or convinced me in the beginning that they weren't toxic. They were always toxic. They didn't change. It's not a midlife crisis. They were always that way. And so then you need to question yourself, why did I automatically trust them? Well, let's figure that out. First, let's look at the Hangman. 6 of Pentacles and 2 of Wands. And the 5 of Pentacles. Can't make it up. Ace of Wands. The bottom of the deck. So I think what you need to see in a new perspective is that this person did not go from, day to night. They weren't generous in the beginning and suddenly they aren't generous. There was no change in the wind here. Notice the flag here is like in the wind. There was no change in the wind here. It didn't become a toxic job 5 years into working there. It didn't become a toxic community group that you volunteer in, and 2 years later, you're like, oh my God, this place has turned toxic. No, this individual or this entity did not become toxic in the time span that you were with them or engaging with them, or that they were in your life, or that you participated in whatever the event or experience here was, or the connection. It was always toxic. You just failed to see it. And it takes a lot of strength to own up and say, oh my God, I did this to myself. I put myself in this relationship. I failed to see the red flags. You did. And have grace with yourself. But I feel like this is a pattern for you, Pisces. And I think you're going to keep drawing in these people unless you start practicing some really strong, healthy boundaries at the onset of your, connections. I feel like I tapped into a group of you, like if you were to start a new job tomorrow, within 2 days, everyone at work is your friend and you're chatting up with them and you're divulging your life story to them. And meanwhile, you don't know these people's intent. Oh, they look all smiles. They're helping you set up your desk or your office or your cubicle. They're showing you where this machine is and that machine and how you can like swipe yourself in and out of the building and where the lunch break room is. But they're not all as pleasant as you are. Some of them are just putting on that facade and gaining your trust early on, which you so willingly give because you have no boundaries. And all they're doing is collecting data to use against you. So the moment you're up for a promotion, and they think you might get it and they don't, they suddenly go to the boss and say, I don't want to say anything, but I heard that you were considering Pisces for that position. But I mean, did you know that they've been having like problem paying their bills? Like their credit score is really low. I don't think our clients would appreciate someone with that inadequate or unstable payment history to be monitoring their accounts. That's all that person was doing, was collecting data. And they didn't have to ask you anything. You freely gave it. And they stored it in their little bank until they can withdraw it and use it against you in the future. And that's just an example. I'm not saying you all did that. I'm just giving you the example that, they gave me to share. So be very careful on how open you are to the people that you connect with, even your existing connections. Are they truly all healthy and beneficial? Are you sure? Or are they just mining data on you to use at a later date, to use your weaknesses against you at a certain point in time? This is like the person that when you're in the relationship with them, they tell you how wonderful you are. And then when shit starts to hit the fan and you decide to leave them or they leave you, they turn around and suddenly they tell you everything that is wrong with you. And you're like, oh, wow. And then this is the person turns around and goes, and you know what? And you are fat. And you're like, fuck you. All the times I asked you how I look in this dress or how I look in this suit, you told me I look good, I look beautiful, I look handsome. And every time I said I was fat, you were like, no, you're not. You're beautiful. You're handsome. I love this little role. They were collecting data, like how you perceive yourself, issues you have, insecurities you have. So at a later date, they either hold it against you, use it against you, or throw it in your face. Okay. Thank you for that. That was a lot. Sorry. I didn't mean to bombard you with that. I'm just trying to give you everything they're giving me. So I think it takes a lot of strength, right? It takes a lot of strength to go within and say, oh my God, I've been the problem. Now, I don't want you to blame yourself for what this person is doing to you or these people have done to you in the past. But you kind of do have to go inside and go, yeah, it was my fault. I did trust them and I shouldn't have. And I went in too quickly on the relationship, or I did divulge too much within a week of knowing this person. So are they the problem? Absolutely. But you kind of are too, because you're not practicing healthy boundaries to keep you safe, to keep you secure until you can vet the person properly. Tell me about that strength card. One more shuffle here. Thank you. The Knight of Wands, the King of Wands, and Temperance. Oh, look at that fire up energy. I love it. You at the bottom of the deck, High Priestess. So yeah, it takes a lot of courage and a lot of strength to say, in the past, I recklessly went into connections. I trusted everyone. This time around, moving forward, I'm going to be more discerning. I'm going to be more King of Wands. The kings don't act in tarot. They don't take action until they're ready to take action. They're not inconsistent. They're not immature. They don't trust easily. They watch. They monitor. They protect themselves. They protect their bounty. They protect their kingdom. They protect their livelihood. They protect their privacy. And they do it with a smile on their face. It's not an angry, well, why are you asking me, blah, blah, blah. It's temperance. It's alchemized. It's balanced. It's patient. It's kind. It's soft fire. But underneath, there's a King of Wands. If you notice underneath the King of Wands, he actually has a plate of armor, but it's cloaked in a very nice robe, a regal robe. And I think that's what it's telling you to be. And it's going to take a lot of strength for you to do that because it's stepping out of your comfort zone to be that way. But again, it's saying you can be soft and you can be friendly and you can be cordial, but you can also sit and observe and protect yourself moving forward. And it doesn't mean you have to have a suspicion about everyone. Everyone's out to get me. Don't get into that mentality. But you should be in the mentality of, I can't trust everyone until they earn my trust. I was going to ask a question before. Where does this come from? Where does this come from? This, it's almost like a weakness. Let's get one more shuffle. Thank you. Wheel of Fortune. The Fool. Your childhood. Adolescence. Two of Cups. You learn this in your childhood from the beginning when you were forming connections with your parents, with adults, with siblings, with schoolmates, with neighbors. There was a learned behavior here, like to trust everyone, or everyone was good, or you saw the good in everyone. At some point in time, and you'll need to figure this out for yourself, King of Cups, Three of Wands, Page of Pentacles, learned behavior in childhood. Too trusting, see the good in everyone. Everyone has potential. These are things that may have been said to you in childhood. Everyone is good. Everyone has potential. Be kind. Be considerate, Pisces. Be loving, Pisces. And you may have just taken that now to an extreme as an adult. Again, it's a collective general reading. You'll need to go within and figure out where in your adolescence this came from. This just trust everyone off the bat thing. Anything else we need to know about that? One more shuffle. Thank you. Knight of Pentacles, Six of Cups. It's something in your childhood. Something in your childhood. Everyone is good. Everyone has the potential to be good. You could be whatever you want to be. Anyone can be whatever they want to be. I'm just telling you things that I'm being told. And there's also something here that if you're a good person and you're loving and you're trusting, you will attract kind and nurture, you know what I mean? Loving people towards you. So it's like, be what you want to attract, Pisces. And that's true in a way, but you still need to be discerning because there will be people who will take advantage of you or try to take advantage of you. So again, we go back to the world is not like you. And just because you show up with your heart on your sleeve and you're trusting, you're loving, doesn't mean there aren't demons among us. So please use this week to go back and try to figure out where you acquired this attraction style or attachment style of not like just blindly kind of trusting everyone. Let's get you 3 cards of advice. Can we get 3 cards of advice here for Pisces when it comes to like creating boundaries moving forward or how to maintain them? One more shuffle here. Thank you. Your advice. 6 of Wands, 2 of Swords, Queen of Pentacles. I love it. Moving forward with people in your life or new people entering your life. If you're not 100% sure of an individual's motives about why they're being drawn to you, why they're coming towards you, why they're befriending you, if you can't see it, you don't understand it, you don't know them, they're new, sit on your throne and watch. And when they show you who they really are, believe them the first time. Because the Queen of Pentacles is extremely wise. She does not invest in something that looks good, smells good, sounds good. She watches. It needs to be someone who's solid and structured and stable when we're talking about connections before she will invest her pentacle energy, her resources, her privacy, her love, her time, her money. She's very cautious. She's the slowest queen to move. She's the slowest queen to act. And she's also the most nurturing. So again, you can do this without being an a-hole, right? You don't have to be a Queen of Swords. No offense if you have a Gemini placement. I'm a Gemini sun. But you don't have to be the Queen of Swords here. You can still nurture a connection in the sense of being kind and not being cold or cruel. But you can observe until you have better information. I feel like you kind of want to be everyone's friend. And you think everyone wants to be your friend. And unfortunately, that's not the world we live in. So that's what I have for you, Pisces, for the week ahead. What boundaries need to be created in your life when it comes to toxic situations, environments, or connections? And here it really seems to be more connection-based for you. And the boundary that you need to create is actually one within yourself to pause and sit and watch and be silent. The kings and queens in tarot are silent. Even the Queen of Swords is the Queen of Brevity. She doesn't say much. So there's just something here about like careful observation. You can still nurture, you can still collaborate with people in the King/Queen of Wands energy. You can still nurture connections as the Queen or King of Pentacles, but you don't have to go all in. You don't have to, especially when you don't know the people or you don't know their motives or they're new to you. You don't have to be everyone's friends because everyone here is not your friend. You know, this person is galloping in the 6 of Wands on the horse and they think all these people are cheering them on. This is like, welcome to the first day at work. But those people are also holding spears. And at any given time, they can stick one in that horse and it'll kick you right off of it. And I think that's another message here that just came through for you. So be mindful of who you're interacting with and how much you're divulging. Yeah, just sit and watch. People will reveal themselves. That is what I have for you, Pisces, for the week of October 26, 2025. If you liked any of those messages, if they resonated with you, if you want to claim all or part of them, or you just found them to be helpful, please be sure to click like, share, and subscribe. And until I read for you again, I am wishing you light, love, and peace.